Have referral fees and panel solicitors ruined estate agency? Today I'm joined by Chris Barry, who is director at Thomas Legal, a conveyancing firm in the Cotswolds and in London. Thanks for joining me today, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Have panel solicitors and referral fees ruined the estate agency proposition? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think sadly so. I mean, panels do provide some value. What I think they do for large estate agencies is give good high-level MI to senior management. I think that's really useful. They probably save conveyancers on BD. So they're giving them work ultimately, which is a benefit for sure. But that aside, what they will argue, and maybe rightly so, is that because you've got the same lawyers dealing with each other on all of the same transactions, saves some time in terms of chasing, the lawyers get used to working with each other. And I think there is some truth to that. My biggest issue, and I see this all the time, because panels are asking us to come on board, is that when they present us with the commercials, they are so far away from reality that it just doesn't work for a conveyancing firm of any reasonable standing. And I'll give you some examples. So I saw an engagement letter from Purple Bricks. This is some time ago, but it said, if you use our conveyancing firm, the fee is X. If you don't, the fee is X. So the client sat there thinking, well, actually, if it's going to save me some money and I need a lawyer anyway, why wouldn't I? And I looked at the names of the conveyancing firms at the bottom, and they were all part of the Metamorph group who went bust 2 years ago. So the issue for me was blindingly obvious when I looked at the commercials. They were taking a fee out of the middle in excess of the fee the lawyer gets. Well, the lawyer takes all the risk. You know, if a client comes back to sue, they're not suing the panel, they're suing the law firm. So when I worked it out, I said to the client, you're paying £1,000 for legal fees. Your lawyer that you're instructing is only getting about £147 or whatever it was when I worked it out, after Purple Bricks had taken their cut and the panel had taken their cut. So what are you getting for £147? This is the biggest purchase of your life to date. You're not going to be getting a solicitor, that's for sure. You're going to be getting somebody who isn't qualified that's going to have such an enormous workload on their desk that you'll never hear from.
Because that's it. Most people don't realise there's two bites to the cherry. One is the kickback referral fee to the estate agent.
Yeah.
And the other one is the panel takes the person organising the panel takes a big chunk.
Yes, yes. And I spoke to, I won't name any names, but I spoke to a really good big corporate estate agent who said, would you like to work with us on the higher end of the market? And I said, yeah, you know, it sounds exactly like something we'd be interested in. And we sat down, and what they'd done, because they just acquired a big agency in the upper end, is they'd taken their panel arrangement that worked in the core market, applied it to the upper end, and said, oh, brilliant news, we've increased the commercials. And it was £100 more per deal, and we had to work evenings and Sundays. Now, whilst we're not averse to working hard, there's no way you're going to get lawyers, you know, solicitors, proper solicitors, to work evenings and Sundays for what is probably 20% of their normal fee. It just doesn't work.
Is it as low as that?
It really is. It really is. I'm looking at legal fees that, so I always ask clients to send me quotes when they've got quotes from elsewhere.
Yeah, without mentioning any
Yes.
firms, give me a typical fee from a panel solicitor through a corporate estate agent, and how, so top figure, and then break that down for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a typical, well, I can tell you exactly what the average is in conveyancing right now. It's about £1,535.
Is that that's for a sell? That's not buying and selling.
That's the average. So that'll be all of it pulled together.
1,500 quid.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like 1,500 quid, right?
So when you have a look at the breakdown to the panel and the breakdown to the estate agent, the law firm's picking up about 700 of that. So it's less than half.
Half of it goes to the agent or the panel?
Well, both, yeah, split, depending on who it is. But it's a tremendous amount. And it's not just that. The panel then control everything else. So searches are a great example. I think it's no secret law firms make a turn on searches. They've got a search provider they use as a priority, and they push it all that way. Well, if the panel then takes searches, that's just some more money that the law firms are losing. So they monetize everything, basically.
So not only are they getting quite a few £100, that, well, you know, rightly so, you need to, you know.
You need to have make a
So
living.
really,
Yeah.
why aren't conveyancers going direct to agents? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some big firms out there that will, you know, but, you know, the big firms probably only take up, you know, 20% of the market. The rest of it is one man, one woman band agents.
Yes, yes. And it's because I think typically conveyancing firms specifically don't invest in business development. Lawyers, I think, who are one-man bands or part of a multi-office discipline are better at it, especially the more experienced lawyers, they're better at it.
You saying that sweet medium, like that the, you know, the Cinderella solicitor, not too hot, not too cold, not too big, not too small, somewhere in the middle.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But if you've got a conveyancing firm that is based in location covering various different parts of the country, I don't think they've got people going out trying to win work from estate agencies particularly. I think a lot of them just sit there and wait for a panel to come to them and say, will you take 50 cases a month and we'll give you £600 a case.
And I suppose with the volume that works, but the problem is that it takes time, and that's why the sales taking 120, 130 days as opposed to...
Correct. They need to take on more work, and the risk there that we're seeing in our industry all the time right now is that last year the volume wasn't there. So what happens when the volume isn't there? They end up struggling.
Do you think that if there was no referral fees and no panels, so sales would go through a lot quicker?
The panels would argue that the data they can provide suggests that deals go through more quickly. And I think it's difficult to say because the data they're producing, we wouldn't perhaps have access to because it's their data.
But then there are such things as 20 convey, which means you can independently get that data.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think one of the issues is that the law firms quoted on 20 convey will do a mixture of panel work and non-panel work. So separating that's really difficult. So I can't definitively say yes or no, but they will argue that if you get two lawyers together working on 20 deals together, they're likely to go through more quickly. My argument would be, especially in the mass market, that the lawyers you're getting on these deals will have more on their desk and therefore are slower. Or they're really quick and not doing it properly. And that's the other issue.
Please put your comments on when we post this on social media or in YouTube. Whether you agree or disagree, we'd love to know what you're doing. Chris, thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.